Ladies and gentlemen, the mysterious death of Liam Payne has raised some disturbing questions. Now, I know people are saying, stop, it's not a conspiracy. Oh, why does everything have to be a conspiracy when someone dies? It's not that this is a conspiracy, it's the circumstances surrounding the death are extremely questionable. We know he was going through mental difficulties. We know there's things that were happening behind the scenes that were having a massive, massive impact on his personal life. There's a few things that we can look at this moment in time that will give us reasons as to why Liam was in the state that he was in. But ultimately, did Liam decide to throw himself off the 3rd floor? We're going to look at a few videos now that are going to give us a clearer insight, and I'm going to kind of digest that information and share my opinion as we go along. I'm not saying that this was foul play, but what I am saying is that you can't eliminate anything at this moment in time. There's a number of things that don't make sense, and some of these videos are going to explain why. Let's check this out.
Liam Payne's phone could be the key to solving unanswered questions after he fell to his death from a hotel balcony. Police in Argentina believe the circumstances around the former One Direction star's death are suspicious and possibly involve drugs. It's understood police are hunting for a drug dealer who could have supplied illegal substances.
Our visual footage has come out of the room. We see a smashed TV. We see foil all over the place. We see powders. We see medicated substances all over the place. Allegedly, there was 2 women with Liam at the hotel apartment just before this all happened, or maybe an hour or so just before this happened. So there are some questionable things that was happening. He went downstairs, was seen in the lobby smashing up his laptop. Whatever email he was reading clearly was upsetting him.
Liam's phone will be key to determining who may have supplied any drugs. His phone could also reveal what happened to the 31-year-old before he fell to his death in Buenos Aires on Wednesday. Police say there is no sign of a third party being involved in Dad of One Liam's death. Police discovered, quote, what appeared to be narcotics, alcohol, destroyed objects and furniture in his room at the Hotel Casa Sur. Photos published by Argentine media showed white powder, burnt aluminium foil and a smashed TV screen inside his room. Forensic teams reported that a whiskey bottle, lighter and mobile phone were retrieved from the building's internal courtyard where Liam's body was found.
So on that basis, he could have been at the balcony, sipping his drink, lighter in his hands, looking down, leaning over, and just went. Now, some people have questioned it to the point where it's only 3 floors up. So that fall might not have been as life-threatening. Let's take a look at this.
As a fact, the authorities down in Buenos Aires released a new statement that he jumped off the balcony of his hotel room.
So he didn't trip or anything like that. They believe that he jumped.
And that's a very specific word. And I would imagine that they might have been able to review security camera footage for them to say that, especially because they did not say it that way initially when they spoke to the press. And also, I thought about that. You know, he died after falling from the 3rd story of a hotel room. If it was a fall, you might have been able to survive that.
Yeah, when you think of 3 stories, it's high, but it's not high enough.
Unless you like dove, right?
If you dove, you're gonna die. You're gonna snap your neck, you're gonna crack your skull.
A 911 call has been released where the hotel manager, I listened to it in Spanish. The hotel manager, obviously the hotel manager doesn't know, but the hotel manager told 911 that.
So that's what they're saying. I do want to watch the full interview there, because it does look like the manager of the hotel has said something that might not have been true, or potentially could incriminate himself, saying that he knows more than he should know. We're going to get back to that.
Injuries on his hands indicate that he may have fallen into a state of unconsciousness. Last night, his former One Direction bandmates shared an emotional.
So they believe he fell into a state of unconsciousness, and that's the reason for some of the injury.
Emotional joint tribute. A statement from the band read, "We're completely devastated by the news of Liam's passing. In time, and when everyone is able to, there will be more to say. But for now, we will take some time to grieve and process the loss of our brother, who we dearly loved. The memories we shared with him will be treasured forever. For now, our thoughts are with his family, his friends, and the fans who loved him alongside us. We will miss him terribly. We love you, Liam, Lewis, Zayn, Niall, and Harry."
Let's switch over and listen to what Perez Hilton's got to say. He's got another video which is extremely interesting. Let's check this out.
Warning. This video has very disturbing details. A second warning. This video also shares the sad final hours of Liam Payne and it could upset a lot of fans. It doesn't necessarily paint him in a favorable light. It does reveal how sad and in what a bad shape he was in. One woman has come forward who says that she saw Liam minutes before he passed and recounts in detail all of their exchanges. So this is not rumor or speculation. This is a woman's account of what happened.
Okay.
Rebecca says, one of my friends was due to get his suite, so the hotel staff were a little on edge because he still hadn't checked out at 4:30 p.m., but also because of his behavior. Rebecca and several friends of hers were checking into the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires for a wedding. Let me lift the curtain. I can tell what happened with this interview, okay? Yes, this woman says these things happened, but the questions that the British media asks, this is an interview that Rebecca gave to the Daily Mail. The questions are leading. Was he desperate? Was he this? They will get the answer going in the direction they want based on how they ask the question. Does that make
And that's what the media do when they are trying to manipulate and trying to control and dictate the narrative.
Makes sense? Rebecca says, I came into the hotel and he was waiting by the elevator, and it was so clear he wanted someone to recognize him. There was something a bit desperate about him. I was with my friends and we did know who he was, but none of us were that bothered. When the lift came, he suddenly said to us without any prompting, "Yes, I'm Liam," really drawing it out, and then said, "All right, come on, you lot, get in the elevator with me. I love a cuddle." That is keeping in line with things we've heard before. And also, the authorities in Buenos Aires did reveal that 2 women were in his hotel room in the hours leading up to his death. Rebecca, however, says, I decided against it and waited for the next one, elevator, but some of the other girls got in with him, and halfway up, he started saying, "Oh, you're Americans? I live in West Palm Beach. I know Americans. You guys are effing crazy. You guys are effing dangerous." And then things got... Rebecca claims that Liam grabs a girl who I think was with him and starts fake choking her. Only lightly, but the others thought it was really disturbing. Obviously, the friends of hers that got in that elevator recounted that to Rebecca.
Hold on, doesn't this guy have a girl that was there 2 days prior to this day?
Rebecca said she returned to the lobby 10 minutes later. Liam also came back down shortly afterwards, sat on a couch, and began to read emails.
This is the laptop moment.
One message and then freaked out, she says. That's
when he's read one message and freaked out.
When he began smashing his laptop, as other reports have mentioned.
So what message would he have read? The only email that he would have read that would have freaked him out to the point where he went to smash the laptop. Because that's the message that more or less triggered the aftermath.
Multiple people in the lobby witnessed this. Rebecca shares, quote, I have a blind relative and I realized he had the laptop on its accessibility setting for some reason, so that each time he moved the mouse hovering over something, the machine spoke out loud to say where the cursor was. I assumed he was doing that for the attention too. Then he opened his emails and saw one which obviously upset him. Suddenly, he took the computer, shouted, F this, shh, mate and started bashing the computer on the ground. According to Rebecca, this shocked everybody in the lobby, especially the staff. Then she says that instead of, avoiding him, she went to check on him. And she says, I went over, asked, are you okay? But he just kind of grunted. Then he said, I used to be in a boy band. That's why I'm so effed up. Rebecca adds, quote, there was a lot more swearing and he took the laptop and went to get back in the lift. After he'd gone, this is especially telling, the guy from his entourage, who I think was called Roger, came over and apologized on his behalf, saying, I'm sorry, he just gets so high sometimes. I did wonder what these people with him were doing to help him, but maybe they had tried and failed.
So he was with people in the hotel. He wasn't there by himself. He had an entourage, security, people that knew him on a personal level. All of those things that have happened within the hotel, and not one of the entourage was there to actually support and manage the situation. And at the same time, you've got the hotel staff, the hotel security, they're not intervening, even though they can hear he's destroying the room. They make a call and speak to an operator, and he tells the operator to bring medical staff. So the first thing the man on the phone asked for was medical staff. He didn't want the police to come to help manage the situation. He wanted medical staff to be there because he feared that Liam was going to take his own life. And then 5 minutes later, Liam took his own life. And people want to say why we're asking questions.
Who is this Roger? Why is this the first time I'm hearing about anyone that Liam was with? Is Roger a bodyguard, a manager, a publicist, just a friend? Who is this person? Have the authorities spoken to him? Is he the one that decided to take Liam to the hotel room and not the hospital? And this Rebecca is really shady, okay? She took pictures of him in the lobby. She says the hotel staff were freaking out and watching him nervously. The staff came to help him and get him back in the elevator, and that's when I took the last photo. You can see the arm of the English guy who was with him holding the lift door open before taking them up to the 3rd floor again. It wouldn't surprise me if Rebecca was also the person who took photos of Liam's body and shared it on social media. Awful, 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 awful.
It is awful. And
I am sure that his loved ones did try to get him help. And he did get help in the past. He did. He talked about that publicly. Unfortunately, addiction, depression, mental health.
It's a big problem.
We've seen this happen many times with famous and non-famous people alike.
Absolutely, and the situation is extremely devastating. Condolences again to Liam's friends and family. But there's still multiple questions that need answering. It doesn't mean it's a conspiracy. It's just an abnormal situation. It's not normal. If Liam was found dead in his bed, then the mindset would be totally different. Either way, we've lost someone that meant so much to so many people across the planet. It is sad. It's a sad time for a number of people, including Liam's family and friends. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I need to know exactly what you are thinking on everything that we have run through in this video. Leave those comments down below, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel if you are newly watching. Do turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.